A huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 23 of our Omnifactory playthrough. In our previous episode, we'd set up our distillation tower. There it is in all its glory. And really the only changes I've made between episodes for this is I've got our covered cables connected into some ME conduit, and I've just run the ME conduit back around this area. I have done some work up on our AE2 system. We just pop up there quickly. You notice I now have, it's raining again, 3 drives. So I have 16K drives for my ME storage, and I have 4K fluid drives. And I've created the ME IO port to be able to transfer from 1K drives and 4K drives and so forth onto these fluids and item cells. So we've got some storage set up now, and one of the other things I've done is I've piped, as you can see from the distillation tower, all of our fluids into the system. So we have our acetic acid, we have ammonia, we have, where are the other ones? Methanol, and we do have ethanol as well, but I'm actually using the ethanol over here. So instead of necessarily using this, which is still running at the moment, I have this guy running with lots of ethanol to produce our ethylene, and then we can use that for our polyethylene and polyvinyl chloride. So the goal for today's episode is to continue what we started in the previous one, and that's to get as far as we can into rocket fuel. So according to our quest book, the first thing we need to make, so we've done methanol, we got that from the distillation tower. We've done ammonia, we also got that from the distillation tower. And now we need hypochlorous acid. Now, if I go into hypochlorous acid, that is a chemical reaction of water and chlorine with an integrated circuit of 1 will give us 1 bucket of diluted hydrochloric acid and 1 bucket of hypochlorous acid. The other recipe is for chlorine, 10 buckets, water, 10 buckets, and 1 bucket of mercury. So one of the things I did was, between episodes, I had some cinnabar and I processed that, and that gave me some mercury. So what we could do, and I think that's what we're going to try and do, is to use that, because if you go in here, you get 10 buckets of hypochlorous acid as opposed to 1 bucket of hypochlorous acid and you get diluted hydrochloric acid, which we don't need at the moment. So let's start work on that. So the first thing I want to do is to pop down, did I bring them with me? I did. A CF, and we're just going to pop it roughly about here. I think that's probably our center line. Yeah, that would do. I just need to make sure I've got, is this the center? That's the center line there. Okay, so I'll get my end steel conduits. I'm just going to run these along here. From that one to this one, pop you to here. Use my bat hook, and I'll take my CEF, my wrench. Now I'm just going to do a line of machines at the moment. I might make towers up later. I haven't actually figured out a layout for all these machines, so I'm just going to do it simply at the moment. We'll just do that, and I have, hopefully I brought it up, 13 pieces of energetic alloy cable. Just drop those in as far as the eye can see. Another 3. And hopefully that should give me the space to the machines. This is going to be a very messy cable layout, but it will work for the time being. So chemical reactors. So the first thing we need is a chemical reactor. And we're going to, this fluid trash can is just taking water out at the moment. So what I'm going to do is to take this out the way, get my pressurized fluid conduits. I'm going to use the excess water from our distillation tower and pipe that in to our chemical reactor. So once that processes, it's just finishing processing now, that should drop that water in there. Now the other thing we need to bring in is some some mercury and some chlorine, and for that we need some fluid interfaces. And I thought I had more than that. Oh, I did. They're just sitting here. So let me go and craft up some fluid interfaces, and we'll run some ME conduit and some ME cable. Did I add fluid interfaces? I didn't. Oh, that's awkward. Fluid interface, add you in there, crafting. I'll just add that to our construction cube. You can see I've been adding more recipes in. See what else we need. What are we missing? Bronze plates. Really should sort that out. So, give me a stack of 64 bronze. And what we'll do is we'll come back once I've got my bronze plates. Okay, so we now have our 5 fluid interfaces. Hopefully that will be enough to get things going. And let's just see. I'm going to pop this fluid interface on here. And then what we'll need to do is to pop. We'll take some ME conduit, drop that along here, up, switch it over to the other cables, there, and just connect that. So what I want to be delivering from here is not oxygen. So let me go up to my fluid. And get rid of this bucket of oxygen. I want chlorine and another bucket. Or I've got water, I've got chlorine, and the other one I wanted was mercury. There was here somewhere. Mercury. So if I've done this right, I have water coming in as a byproduct from my distillation tower, and I could quite easily just change it so that I get it from the main feed, which I probably will do, but at the moment this seems to work. So mercury in first, chlorine in second, and a pump which I don't have, and that is really annoying. I really wish these would just work from the inputs and outputs, but I haven't discovered how to get that working yet, so I'll need to figure that out. Up here, I want a pump, don't I? Craft me an MV pump. I have HV pumps because I needed them for the distillation tower, which is great because it means that when we eventually move into the HV tier, I'll have at least 2 components already ready to go. Go for some steel pipe. Right, so get my pump. So I'll take this pump now, but whilst we're waiting, I'll create probably 6. We're gonna get. I'll just get 6 pumps crafted in the background. So always going to be useful. Right, so if I pop my pump in here and say screwdriver, import. Will we have? We have mercury, water. Is this going to be annoying? No. Yes, maybe. Oh, and chlorine going in. But it's not doing anything. Oh, there it is. It's just taking its time because it needed more chlorine. So now, just pop this bin down here because it's useful for buckets. Just throw the mercury away. I now have 10 buckets of hypochlorous acid. Should give me the quest complete, and it does. So, hypochlorous acid, methanol, ammonia. So we need dimethylamine and chloramine. So dimethylamine, what's that? That is a chemical reactor again of methanol and ammonia. Okay, we can do that. So get that, and where's my chemical reactors? So, advanced chemical reactor. Pop our fluid interface down. Take some piping. So this looks very untidy at the moment. The reason it's like this is so I can take it's fluid conduits, I think, and I don't want you to extract. I want you to extract, insert, always active, and that should be pouring hypochlorous acid straight into the bin. Right, that was a really stupid thing to do because I forgot to set up a drive for hypochlorous acid. So we'll leave that off for the time being. We'll just let them produce and then I'll sort out the plumbing. That was daft. Okay, so we'll take that one, pop that. Oh, I should have kept that. All fingers and thumbs today. Right, so let's do this. Dimethylamine is methanol and ammonia. So let's go get 2 buckets, one of methanol, one of ammonia. Right. Ammonia, 1 bucket of methanol. Bucket of. Pop over here. It's into ammonia bucket, methanol bucket. And hopefully those pumps should be done by now. I really wish I picked them up. It's there. Lots of walking backwards and forwards. I don't know if my character had a pedometer. I'd hate to think what his step count was. Pump. Here's my pumps. So pump in here, screwdriver out, set that to import, and the ammonia going in. Now will this just give me ammonia and only doing one at a time? That means it's probably going to fill up everything. Right? Oh no. It's only done one. Oh, that's good. Right, so what we got? We have this, which is should be making dimethylamine or dimethylamine. Sure. Water and dimethylamine. Right. Bucket out. Get myself a bucket. Keep this bucket because I'll need to add that to a storage device. So dimethylamine done. So the next one is chloramine. Chloramine is ammonia and hypochlorous acid. That's good. So what I want is to empty the methanol bucket. Oh. Grab a bucket of hypochlorous acid. And then go up to our lovely crop. Yeah. So how many more drives am I going to need? I'm going to need hypochlorous acid, dimethylamine, chloramine, so that's 3, 4 for dimethylhydrazine, and 5 for rocket fuel. That makes sense. I get 5 4K drives. Let's see if this works. See what I'm missing. Some lapis, good thing I was making that, and some Certus quartz plates. Okay, let me get those crafted and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've made up my fluid storage cells. All I'm going to do, clear out the acetic acid. I'll put my, should do hypochlorous acid first because I need that one. Add that into here. And the next one we'll make up is the dimethylamine. And dimethylamine, yep. Okay, so those two are ready to go, and we'll just empty these buckets out. So in theory, what should happen now, when I go back and reconnect this up, is my hypochlorous acid, which is 18 buckets of it so far. I do this. Get my wrench and make the two of them up. Say extract, always active, insert. That's now outputting. That was like 18 buckets, so just run up, just make sure it has worked. Hypochlorous acid, 19 buckets, perfect. We can do the other one with a level of confidence. Dimethylamine, is it dimethylamine? So now this has got water and dimethylamine, which is a bit of a pain because I don't really want to extract in the water on this one. But it is quite handy because I could just pump that straight back into this one. Maybe a job for some water fluid filters. We'll investigate that afterwards. So, chloramine, which is ammonia and hypochlorous acid. So, let's pop our advanced chemical reactor down. Another interface. Connector up. And what we want is a bucket of chlorine and a bucket of ammonia. Are we still running, we asked? Let's go grab those. Where are we? So chlorine. No, it wasn't chlorine at all, was it? It's chloramine, but it's actually ammonia and hypochlorous acid. So hypochlorous acid, ammonia. Where be the ammonia? What? Not producing enough ammonia? Right, I'm gonna have to balance it out. So I've got ammonia in the machine next to me. I have to think about increasing the flow because obviously can't have one machine dominating all of the ammonia needs. So chlorine, mercury, not that one. Methyl ammonia. There's my fluid tank. Take some of that. And she wants this work? Let's find out. Where are you? So ammonia and hypochlorous acid. Drop our pump in. Yeah. Get you to import. Just take ammonia. Let's just start making chloramine. Again, also producing water. So we've got a lot of water to either reuse or dispose of. I'm tempted just to dispose of it. But chloramine's done. So that just leaves 1,1-dimethylhydrazine, which is a fusion of dimethylamine and chloramine. So take our chemical reactor, drop you down here, drop another interface on, even though we're not actually going to be using it quite yet. So I don't want the hypochlorous acid, I want dimethylamine. So dimethylamine in there, chloramine in there, a pump to set you up, set you to import, then take my fluid tank, there we are, grab some chloramine, there, dimethylamine, go in there, and that is now processing. Eventually we'll have our 1,1-dimethylhydrazine. So what's after we've got that? Rocket fuel. Right, we've got our rocket fuel. Good things can start to happen. One would hope. This is pretty slow. Right, so I need to filter the export on the backs to not take the water and trash the water somehow. Or reuse the water. Probably trashing it's probably the best. Right, so that is diluted hydrochloric acid and 1,1-dimethylhydrazine. Just grab that bucket. That's that quest done. The last one is rocket fuel. Mix oxygen and dimethylhydrazine together to make rocket fuel. Okay, well that seems relatively simple. We need a mixer, oxygen and dimethylhydrazine. So let us get, we'll keep that bucket for the time being. Let's go and make a mixer. Did I put a recipe in for a mixer? Let's find out. Nope. So MV mixer. Oh, wrong one. This one I wanted. I'll make sure we've got the right chips in. I'll do it again. Keep on doing it. I keep on popping one of these chips in to the thing rather than keeping it out. I'm either doing that or I'm putting in another crate somewhere. No, I must have used it. Oh, right. Got some MV machine holes there. In crafting, let's pop those into our storage. So refined processor. That's still working. What are we sitting at? We're still crafting our chips. Let's just make sure I've got plenty of soldering fluid left. Ooh, great. So we'll get that mixer made up, and then we'll have our rocket fuel. That will be a thing, I think. It sounds like it could be a good thing. Dop. Add that in, add that into our crafting cube, one advanced mixer. We'll just make our mixer up. See how quickly it can make this. That seems to be going relatively fast. I'm not sure if that's as a result of the co-processors or the fact that we're spreading out across more machines. Who knows, but I'm quite happy with the progress so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the mixer down, pop another interface on it. We'll say you take oxygen and the 1,1-dimethylhydrazine, and then we'll output that to rocket fuel. So the only thing I'd need to do to automate that is just grab that mixer, walk and talk, is sort out the water as a waste product. Thing is, I'm not storing water anywhere, so I could actually just pump it straight back into the interface and that would just trash it all. Yeah, that might work. The other thing I need to do is sort out how ugly this looks, but do what we've got at the moment. So, got 4 buckets of 1,1-dimethylhydrazine going there, and I'll get another bucket once that's finished, just so I can add it to the filter. Meanwhile, oh, darn it, did I have oxygen on me? Nope. Right, let me go get some oxygen while that's processing. We can just take that from our main system. I don't know if this is going to increase the amount of lag. I'm not really experiencing much lag at the moment. Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So you there, you there. Let's do it. I want to pop. Here's dimethylhydrazine. Pop that in there. That in there. And a pump. There. Set you to import. And all being well. Wow, I'm getting lots of rocket fuel. Let's grab ourselves a bucket of that and complete the quest. And we have done it. We now have rocket fuel. So some tweaking to do with the setup, but one step closer to getting this. So we need a small microburst projector, which requires deuterium. We're going to go the I don't like space route for now. We might enter into space later on, but for now we'll just do this one. So it says space exploration isn't mandatory in this pack, so if you don't feel like exploring space with advanced rocketry, then you can centrifuge hydrogen for deuterium instead. This is a point that it's much less rewarding to skip this, and you'll need lots of hydrogen to compensate, although you won't need too much for the first microburst projector. It's good to know. So we'll get some deuterium made up. Now, elite catalyst requires elite component, which requires black steel and luminescence, which requires phosphoric acid, which requires black steel requires red coal, which requires resonator and GP generation, which requires manual mill, explore extra utilities. So there's a lot of stuff we need to do on that one. We'll probably do that next episode. And quantum flux. And what do we need for this one? Right, moon dust, which I don't think we can get. Extracting impossible realm data, but that's 3000 EU per tick, so that's a big tier. But we can make pulsating crystals, and we've got plenty of extraterrestrial matter, so we'll do that one. So, huge progress. We've now got rocket fuel made up. Some tweaking to be done between episodes to get this automated and get it into our fluid management system. And then we'll get the quantum flux made and explore through the extra utility stuff so that we can get our small microburst projector. And then I think that will be a great time, once we've got that, to break into HV. If I go into the mid-game stuff, we can see we've got lots of HV assembler stuff, vacuum freezers. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we should be breaking into. So I think we're okay power-wise. Yeah. So I hope you join me in the next episode. If you like this episode, feel free to give it a like. If you'd like to see more episodes, then feel free to subscribe. And until then, I hope you have a very pleasant day. Goodbye.